In the world of EDC folders, it's kind of hard to compete against Kizer. They constantly push out high quality knives with incredible action for very reasonable prices, often around the $50 to $80 mark. It is within this space in which they thrive. They always have new releases each and every month, and sometimes it's hard to actually keep up with it all. If you look at any of the past videos on this channel, it's pretty evident I'm a big fan of Kizer, and I have the knives to back it up. Yet surprisingly, one of the coolest knives Kizer's put out, the Towser K Mini, here wasn't even on my radar. Somehow this model completely slipped past me. A little while back, I was offered this knife on a trade and I scooped it up without a second thought. Not only is this an often overlooked model, this is also an exclusive from White Mountain Knives, so it's a little bit more premium. Today we're going to check it out, and spoiler alert, it's pretty freaking cool. Now for some background, apparently this was a White Mountain Knives release from January of 2024, and since it's a few years old now, I can't really find much information about this online as the listing is no longer live. I have no idea on the retail price or even the quantity made, but I haven't seen very many of these online, so I'd imagine it's a little bit rare. Since I don't have the original in hand, we're instead going to go off the listing off Blade HQ for the original. It appears that the original had micarta scales and was a liner lock. Yet on this exclusive version, we swapped the micarta for titanium frag scales and replaced the liner lock with a crossbar lock. We keep the same 154 cm steel, and this is just a smaller version, hence the mini name. Also, before anybody gets confused, I did swap out the pocket clip to this anodized titanium one, also from Kizer. I believe these came stock with a regular stainless steel clip that you can see on almost all Kizers, but I wanted to spice this one up a little bit, and I had this clip laying around, and it wasn't in use, and I think it looks really good. So let's talk specs. This has mini in the name, but is anything but, measuring about 4.5 inches in the handle, and then 7.5 inches when opened. This hardly feels small. In fact, this measures up pretty well against some other knives, such as the Kershaw Bel Air and the Kizer Bugatti. Going back and looking at the original, it apparently feels like this is about half an inch shorter in the blade along within the handle. Regardless, I feel like this is a pretty excellent size. It gives you a really comfortable handle, good enough for a full 4-finger grip, and a usable blade just under 3 inches. So now let's talk about this handle. This is frag titanium. I love titanium, as I'm sure many of you do too, but I'm still undecided on the frag pattern. I know some people love it, but I don't know. I just don't think it looks amazing, but it still looks nice. The machining is really excellent. There's no rough or sharp edges, and I love seeing titanium in this space as it's often only found on knives over the $100 range. So now let's look at the blade. It's a really large cleaver style blade coming in with 154 cm steel. It's still a little bit of a budget steel, but a step up from something like 14C 28N. It's tough, and the edge lasts quite a while, and it's fairly easy to sharpen. The blade can be deployed by either the thumb hole or by using the crossbar lock, and the action is excellent. I do have a really small gripe with the blade though. For one, I dislike this large Kizer branding on the show side. Unfortunately, this is almost on all Kizers, so it's not limited to this model, but it's just a little bit tacky. If this logo was absent, this knife would look double the price and look so much more premium. And speaking of premium, I feel like this knife just really feels like it, especially with this added titanium pocket clip. Titanium handle, crossbar lock, and now with an anodized titanium pocket clip, without the Kizer branding, it feels like this would be something around the $150 to $200 mark if it had an upgraded steel. It's just really clean and classy, and I'm very happy to have found it. Kizer is known for their action, so how does this knife stack up? This is going to come as no surprise to no one. It's great. It's insane how dialed in the crossbar lock is, and Kizer is just on another level with their action. If I ever want a crossbar lock, more often than not, I'm going to grab a Kizer over anything else. They just know how to make this feel absolutely right. Absolutely zero complaints here. Overall, I'm really pleased with this knife. So much in fact, I wish there was more exclusives like this. I think taking a popular knife and changing up the look ever so slightly is just a really smart idea, and this is a perfect example of it. Great smooth action, titanium scales, and just an overall really clean look. I don't know what's not to like. I just think Kizer and White Mountain Knives hit gold with this release, and I'd love to see this be released again maybe in the future. I'd be curious to know what your guys' thoughts over this knife is down in the comments. Thanks for watching, hit that like button to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.